Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him,
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
well, short of them returning it for a pick six, that was about the worst start you could ask for in this one, because your advantage of getting the ball first is gone, and they're set up a short distance from your end zone. Now you're counting on your defense to prevent a touchdown, and your offense, you better be ready to come out swinging on the next series.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And into the end zone. It's a pick six. Touchdown. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And oh, it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
But there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
From the 41, Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 41 yards. And the Eagles have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nixon now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests. All
right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
They're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! Miles Sanders, 38 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nixon now from his end zone. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have... And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Hurts throw there, taken in by Smith. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Got a man, that's Lazard. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So the big play nullified, a legal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Rig alert! Rig alert!
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Ready.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
Hey, smash Franco. Ready.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18.
Go, Reed, go.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And some room to work. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And some room to roam now. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, what a first half he's had running the football. Another terrific run there, and this one finds the end zone.
Well, we know he's a guy who's capable of coming up with big plays in the running game, and his offensive line knows it as well. That keeps them motivated, looking for those extra blocks to give him room to run downfield.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Nixon now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he spins through. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
2nd down and 3. Throwing is Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Slant route, he's got Dobbs. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 32 yards. And the Packers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Hurts to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Hurts. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. They'll start it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, Charles, it was so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. ready at the line. This Philly offense set to go. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
From the 44, Hurts. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
2nd down, back to Sanders. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 21. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on 3rd.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
An option handoff given to Sanders. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On 2nd and goal, Hurts. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Packers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. And a tackle there by C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And here's Jones again on second down. They find some open field here. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run with Sanders off the option. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. 8
yards. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line. 18 rattle.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts going deep here for Watkins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 23. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers.
Taking it right down Broadway. The 40. Past the 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, 77 yards. And the Packers strike quickly to take the lead here in the fourth. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Hurts. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Finding Watkins. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
Here we go.
They go back to the ground with Sanders. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 132 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. This is Smith with a grab. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards, the final tally. They'll try to run with Sanders. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. Nixon now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Rodgers. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his home. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Rodgers to throw. Flush to his right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. And now they're going to get the timeout. So a huge play has them in field goal range with a chance to possibly send this one to OT. Second down, back to Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Eagles are going to win the football game. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they can pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one.
Yeah.